Hi everyone! Welcome to another episode of So Not Scary. In today's episode, we're going to look at how you can hide or cover up a stain on your clothes using your mini sewing machine. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so this in front of you is a new t-shirt. I literally bought it this week from H&M for my daughter. She's 6 years old and she wore it literally just for one day, a single day. And that day she decided to do some painting, and at the end of the painting session this had happened. Okay, it's poster paint. I tried to treat it with a stain treatment and then I washed it according to the instructions on the stain treatment, but the stain never came out. So I want to find a way of salvaging this t-shirt really nicely so that it's still wearable and still looks good. So today I'm going to do that using my mini sewing machine and some extra tools. Let me show you how. Okay, so here in front of you is the t-shirt and here's the stain, which is about the size of the tip of my thumb, okay? About that big. So here I've got some felt. Now this is high quality wool mix felt. The wool content is a good 60 to 70% last I remember. And what I've already done is I soaked it in water just for like 5 minutes. I squeezed the water out and then I air dried it and ironed it out. It's very important you do that with all fabrics, especially felt, because felt shrinks quite a bit when it's washed, okay? And you know kids' clothes get washed a whole lot, and if you do not shrink your felt beforehand, it's just going to bunch up the t-shirt fabric underneath it, okay? And here you'll see I've got a square piece of something white. This is called fusible interfacing, okay? It's a man-made fiber and it comes in different ways. If I do that, you can see that this side has a sheen to it, okay? It's shimmering in the light. This shimmer is actually glue, okay? And the glue only gets activated when it's heated with an iron. It's gonna go on the inside of the t-shirt on the back of the stain. Let me show you how we're gonna do that. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to flip the t-shirt inside out. Okay, so the t-shirt is now inside out. I've got a hot iron and it's a dry iron. There's no steam, no water in there, okay? And here's the fusible interfacing. Now, remember that shiny side I showed you earlier? You wanna face it downwards towards the fabric. This is the matte side, and I'm gonna place it right on top of that stain, okay? And I'm going to quickly just press on it. Look, see? It's stuck on. So now let's turn the shirt right side out. Okay, so now here in my hand is another square of material. This is applique paper. This is paper, and if I wrinkle it, you can hear that paper sound. But on one side, now if I show you, I hope you can see it, it's got a certain sheen to it. And that sheen again is because it's got a heat activated layer of glue. I'm going to put this on, and then again using a hot dry iron, I'm just going to quickly press it on. Now you don't want to leave it on for too long, otherwise the glue might get absorbed into the felt. That's it. Okay, that's all I need. Okay, so here in front of you you'll see quite a few different things. Now let me walk you through what we're going to do next. There's that stain, okay? I want to make sure that whatever applique I put onto that stain is large enough to cover that stain. So the design for the applique that I've chosen is a heart shape, okay? Now to cut out that heart shape, here I've got some cutting dies. Cutting dies, if you can see these heart shapes, okay, are basically very shallow cookie cutters. And among these dies, I can see that this size of heart looks like a good choice, because if I put it on top of the stain, you can see it's going to completely cover the stain. I'm going to cut it out using my die cutter machine. Now this is an old Cuttlebug machine that I bought many years ago secondhand, and it's going to cut out a perfect heart shape. Let me show you how that works. Okay, so there's my Cuttlebug opened up. I've put 2 plates on there, okay? If any one of you is into card making, you would know what I'm talking about. But if you don't, comment down below and I'm gonna show you more about how the Cuttlebug or any die cutter machine works, okay? Here's my felt. I wanna make sure that the heart is centered, or at least falling within the paper that we've stuck on there. So I'm just gonna flip it over and put it there. Now I'm going to cover it up with the other plate. And now I'm going to roll this through. That's it. Let's take it out and see what we've got. There you go. A perfectly cut out heart that we can applique onto our top. Now before we can proceed to attach the applique onto our top, there's one more thing that we need to do. If you flip it over, you will be able to see that the applique still has that paper backing. And we need to remove that paper backing. Now you might be tempted to just start peeling it from the edge like a sticker, but you must never ever do that, okay? Because it's going to cause your material to fray and get rough around the edges. You need something sharp and pointy like a pin or a needle. You want to make an incision in the middle, well away from the edge. Do you see this? Now you can peel it always from the middle towards the edge. Here we go. You can see I made some mistakes. I did not heat my iron hot enough and some bits of adhesive got out. I can still work with this, but if you do heat up your iron to the correct temperature, you will not get this issue, okay? I'm gonna take my applique heart and put it on top of the stain, whichever way I want it to. I think this looks quite nice, and I'm gonna press it on. This time you do want to make sure that it's stuck really well, okay? So give it a good press. Don't move the iron around. There we go. That's stuck. We can move on to the next step. Okay, so we are at our mini sewing machine now, and here's the plan. I'm going to sew a straight stitch all along on the outer edge of the heart. Now I've got a red top thread, as you can see, and a white bobbin thread. So I'm going to open it up at the bottom. Okay, slide it under. I'm going to lower the needle at the tip of the heart. Lower the pressure foot, and now we're going to start sewing nice and slow, okay? Okay, so I've reached the tip of the heart, and looking at the applique, even though it's looking lovely at this stage, I wouldn't mind going over it one more time. Right, so I finished doing a second round of stitches on my applique heart, and now if I look at it, I'm satisfied with the way it looks, okay? So just like we did in this video, I'm going to pass the threads over to the wrong side of the top and knot them and clip them. Let me do that and come back to you and show you what that looks like. And there you have it, guys. Look, it's finished. Doesn't that look really, really cute? Super decorative, and it's covered up the stain perfectly. Now, let me tell it to you straight. I've been using wool mix felt for appliques for over 7 years now, with perfect results every time, okay? Even if you make little sewing mistakes, and I'm sure I've done it here. For example, I messed up that glue backing on the back of the felt. Even so, these appliques will last you years, okay? Your t-shirt or your garment might fade, but the wool mix felt is not going to fade in washes, okay? It does superbly well, wash after wash after wash, okay? Okay, and here's the back of the applique, and what I did is I lifted up some of the edges of the fusible interfacing and just snipped it away. Okay, and to show you guys how good this t-shirt looks, I'm actually gonna ask my daughter to put it on and show you guys how it looks. But in the meanwhile, if you guys like this video and if you felt that you gained something useful from it, please do give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so for more mini sewing machine tips, tricks, and tutorials. Recommend this video, pass the word on, and I shall see you guys soon. Bye!
And it matches with the stripely here, you see?
Yes, it matches, doesn't it? Do you like it?
Yeah.
It looks fab, doesn't it?
I was when this color would look even better. It would be a mismatch like a thread.